Following the teleportation disaster, Sylphie is falling through the air only to land in the Princess of Azura's garden. The Princess Ariel asks Sylphie to become her bodyguard in exchange for helping Sylphie look for her family, and so in order to stay anonymous and not arouse suspicion within the palace, Master Fitz is born. After a while, however, due to a family feud with her brother over who gets to be on the crown that almost resulted in her death, Ariel, along with Fitz, flee the country and begin studying at the Renoa Magic University. University was some of my darkest days. I couldn't pay the electricity bill. But moving on to Rudy, following Eris suddenly leaving him to become a worthy partner of his, he journeys to the Northlands, continuing his search for Zenith. Depressed and alone, he meets some adventurers and reluctantly joins their party called Counter Arrow. But after overcoming a life or death job with them, he feels just a bit better about life and decides to begin looking forward once more. A few months pass and Rudy is fully settled into life in the Northlands. On a job with Counter Arrow, Rudy meets another party's leader called Soldat who is on a similar job. He'll become relevant later on. The day after, however, one of Counter Arrow's members, Sarah, who took a particular dislike to Rudy, has gone missing, and so Rudy goes out to find her. And after rescuing her, she does a complete 180 and becomes friendly towards Rudy and even asks him out on a date. On this date, one thing leads to another and they eventually end up in the bedroom, but then Rudy's biggest issue that will plague him for the rest of the series happens: erectile dysfunction. Rudy apologises to Sarah and he says that he hopes there are no hard feelings. Soldat, who Rudy has become friends with at this point, takes him to a brothel after learning of his little problem, but even that doesn't help. After chatting shit whilst drunk and insulting Sarah only for her to overhear, he immediately regrets what he has said and falls straight back into depression and tries to end himself because he has yet again lost the glimmer of happiness he could have had with somebody, showing he hasn't quite got over the past yet. However, he is offered the opportunity to join Soldat's group, and so he begins to move forward with his life once more as he does some more adventuring with them for the next couple of years. After those 2 years, he receives a letter inviting him to join the Renoa Magic University, and after consulting the man god, he decides to go. Honestly, the Japanese will do anything to include a school arc. After joining the university, rumour spreads of Rudy's silent spellcasting ability and he is challenged to prove it against none other than Master Fitz. Rudy wins against her but has no idea Master Fitz is in fact Sylphie due to a new silver hair and sunglasses look. After this, he begins university life by using their facilities to research the cause of the teleportation disaster alongside Master Fitz, who for some reason is interested in the research too. He also attends his optional class where he meets Xanabar, yes, that guy from season 1 who was obsessed with Rudy's sculptures. Xanabar wants to make his own sculptures but is pretty useless, so Fitz suggests purchasing a slave so Rudy can teach them to make sculptures for him, and so they purchase the slave girl called Julie and begin to train her. Meanwhile, after learning how Xanabar lost his Roxy sculpture to the 2 beast girls in his class, Linnea and Persina, he decides to punish them by tying them up for so long that they wet themselves. Kinky. But after learning that Rudy trained under Ghislaine, who came from their village, they decide to give him some respect. After a while, Rudy has a chance encounter with Nanahoshi, yes, the one travelling with Orsted that almost killed Rudy, Eris and Ruijerd. After overcoming the initial shock, he realises that she is also from Japan and is looking for a way back. The main difference between the two was that she was transported whereas Rudy was reincarnated, and Rudy has no desire to return to Japan. She offers him a deal for the use of his mana, of which she lacks, in exchange for her knowledge about teleportation and thus making him one step closer to his goal. But moving forward, Rudy begins to have feelings downstairs for Master Fitz, after Master Fitz has been helping him a lot during his time at university. He begins questioning his sexuality because everybody believes Master Fitz to be male, but after a rather fortunate, unfortunate fall, where Master Fitz ends up on top of Rudy. Rudy confirms that he is not in fact gay, and Master Fitz is actually a woman. Meanwhile, Princess Ariel is getting fed up of Fitz not revealing her true feelings for Rudy, so she comes up with a plan for Fitz to reveal her true identity. Fitz asks Rudy to retrieve some kind of flower from the forest with her, and whilst travelling, Fitz makes it rain, and not with money, so they go to the cave for shelter. They take their clothes off to avoid hypothermia, and that is when we finally get the face reveal, like a YouTuber who has not revealed their face for the past 3 years. Just when it looks like they're going to do it, Rudy's little problem still prevents him from performing properly. However, when they're back at the academy, Luke, Ariel's right hand man, gives Sylphie an aphrodisiac, and boy does that do wonders for Rudy. After meeting with Ariel, Rudy offers his hand in marriage with Sylphie, and she accepts. Happy days. This season is about the ups and downs of life. You will get knocked down, but you must get up again. Rudy thought he had lost everything when Eris left, but he found a new life with Counter Arrow. He thought he'd lost everything once again when he messed up his relationship with Sarah and was ready to end it all, but he carried on and went to the Renoa Magic University. And then, at the end of the season, he found happiness well beyond what he could have hoped for at the start of the season with Sylphie. But this was all because he didn't let his past experiences, both of his old life and current one, chain him down, and he kept going through those tough points in his journey when he could have easily given up.